Hello, one and all, and welcome back to my channel as I give you guys my top 10 favorite films of 2024. A year is done, another year has passed. I'm getting older, and I'm not happy about it at all. But what I am happy about is giving you guys my favorite films of the year. I love doing these videos every single year because I love telling you guys the films that have stuck with me the most throughout the year. And this was a pretty solid year overall, not just film-wise, but in my personal life, a lot of really great things happened. I got my own apartment, which was really exciting. I got to go to South by Southwest for the first time. I made a lot of new friends, but then also on top of that, I started a brand new podcast called Let Moose Pray Fast, which is all about coming of age films. And if you haven't gotten the chance to listen to it, I'm going to put links in the description below because it is an absolute thrill getting to bring those episodes out every single week for everyone to listen. But here we're talking about my 10 favorite films of the year. So many great films. It was hard putting this list together. Some of these films had happened to stay on the list since last year when I saw some of these films at fall festivals, and they managed to stay on the 10 list all the way till December 2024. That's very impressive, to say the least. But I'm very excited to share the list with you guys. But before we do that, I just want to lay down a few ground rules. This is my list. This is my personal list. If you don't agree with the list, that's totally fine. I would love to hear your guys' top 10 films in the comments down below. But just be respectful. These are the films that stuck with me the most. These aren't the best films of the year, but these are my favorites of the year. So if you don't agree with it, that's totally fine. But if you do agree, we could be best friends. So before we get into the list, I'm going to share with you guys some of my honorable mentions. Nickel Boys, Monkey Man, Conclave, The Girl with the Needle, A Different Man, Snack Shack, Queer, Furiosa, Bird, Flow, The Wild Robot, Wicked, Thelma, History Daughters, Woman of the Hour, It's What's Inside, Saturday Night, Challengers, Memoir of a Snail, and The Substance. And before I get back into the top 10, I just want to quickly mention 3 films that I didn't get around to seeing before making this video that I'm really ashamed that I couldn't see in time. All We Imagine Is Light, I'm Still Here, and The Seed, the Sacred Fig. Like I said, as you could see, lots of great honorable mentions that didn't end up making my top 10 list because there were just so many good films that came out this year that really left an impact on me. So I just say without further ado, let's get right into the list with my number 10 pick.
I got to pee. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll get that. Don't worry. PB time.
Back in January when I saw Real Pain at the Sundance Film Festival, I anticipated that this film was going to stay with me throughout the entirety of the year, and the fact that it did says a lot about how good this film was. Jesse Eisenberg's sophomore album Behind the Camera is one of the most deeply moving watches of the whole year. With a 90-minute runtime, it's impressive how the screenplay is able to pack in so much. It's quiet yet profound, emotional without being heavy-handed, and even with its relatively short runtime, it gives the characters room to breathe and express themselves. So much of the film speaks about our internal need to connect, the enduring bond but inevitable distance of a relationship, and our painful inability to communicate the harsh reality of seeing the ones we love slip away, but powerless to stop it. And let's not forget to celebrate the incredible chemistry between Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin. They're incredible in this film. I've met many people in my life that are like David and Benji, and I saw parts of myself in these two characters. Man, this film is so freaking good. A Real Pain is at number 10, so let's go to number 9.
Go fuck yourself!
You go fuck yourself!
Me go fuck myself, me fuck myself, you go fuck yourself and your fucking mother, motherfucker!
Shut the fuck up!
I have been a massive fan of Sean Baker's work for nearly a decade, and the fact that I get to see this particular stage of his career where he directed a Palme d'Or winning film, it's doing very well critically and audience-wise, and it's poised to be a major contender at this upcoming Oscars. It's an exciting time to be a fan of Sean Baker. Anora is a firecracker of a film, delightfully funny and romantic in the first half, while slowly sinking into screwball comedy territory, capping off with a devastating gut punch. Like with A Real Pain, the screenplay beautifully balances different tones and acts as one of the year's defining genre exercises. Mikey Madison is spectacular, raiding the screen with her lovely charisma, spunky fierceness, and emotionally vulnerability. It's a performance that simply won't escape your brain. I am a sucker for filmmakers tackling a multitude of different genres and tones, and the fact that this was a very impressive genre exercise for someone like Sean Baker, that really says a lot about how good this film was. While this hasn't stuck with everyone, understandably so, I was a big fan of this film walking out of it. It's left an impact on me since I saw it back at TIFF, and it hasn't left my brain since that first viewing. Anora is number 9, so let's go to number 8.
Come here! Shit! Apologize, motherfucker.
Yeah, he said apologize, motherfucker.
This is one of 2 films that I caught at TIFF back in 2023 that managed to carry over into my top 10 of 2024. And you may be asking yourselves, why did it stay on the list for that long? It's because it's just a hit. Man, I had to do that. I'm sorry. Hitman is the gem I have been waiting for Richard Linklater to pump out for nearly a decade. His action noir rom-com is an absolute banger thanks to the staggeringly slick screenplay co-written by Glenn Powell, who is just so fucking good in this film. It's ridiculous how good he is. In Hitman, there's an obsession with calculating a sense of identity alongside a sinister undercurrent of reshaping the boundaries of mortality. So hilarious, so sexy, and even nail-biting. Kudos to Linklater for crafting together another excellent entry to his filmography. It should be illegal for a film like this to look this good and for the chemistry between 2 actors to be this sexy. So shout out to Glenn Powell and Adria Arjona for being the most alluring duo that I saw on screen this year, to the point where I was sweating profusely as I was watching this film and I literally fell on my knees. I mean, someone had to help me up. I couldn't even get up. And by the end of the year, the Notes app was my most used app of the whole year. If you know, you know. Hitman is number 8, so let's go into my number 7.
Promise you won't be driving a map.
I promise.
In the first trailer for Brady Corbet's The Brutalist, we see the word monumental make its way across the entirety of the trailer. That's one of the many words that perfectly encapsulates this brilliant piece of cinema. At times horrifying, moving, other times dazzling, even meditative, The Brutalist is a crowning achievement in storytelling. Delivering his best turn in nearly 2 decades, Adrien Brody disappears as Laszlo Toth, possibly the performance of the year for me, a 3.5-hour epic about the power struggle between the bourgeoisie and the proletariat in America through the basic emotions of ambition, greed, and jealousy. It was incredible. There was something very euphoric about seeing a film on this scale that included a 15-minute intermission, and I can't recall the last time I felt that alive in the cinema. And for it being 3.5 hours, I could have stayed for another 3.5 hours. That's how great this film was. The Brutalist is number 7, so now number 6.
Consider what you're about to do, Paul Atreides.
Silence!
Once again, Denis Villeneuve just crafted the blockbuster of the year, and for someone who really adored the first Dune, he somehow managed to be on the same level and then exceed the amazingness that was Dune Part 1 with Dune Part 2. An absolutely gorgeous piece of not only science fiction filmmaking, but filmmaking period. Denis Villeneuve is serving us with some of the most majestic, awe-inspiring imagery that cinema has graced us with this entire century so far, and yes, I will go that far. On top of that, we are presented with a story drenched in tragedy, seeing our characters go through a wide slew of journeys that change them physically, mentally, and emotionally. Something we really don't witness in blockbuster filmmaking very often nowadays. And yet, despite all the sadness and all the anger building up, it was also an incredibly entertaining time. I've been using this word a lot in this video, but balance is very key to all these films I'm discussing. What's done here is insane. The visuals, the sound, The score, the acting, it's unbelievable. I also didn't anticipate being terrified by Timothée Chalamet in this film. The places that he went to as Paul Atreides here really just got under my skin. Complimentary, of course. I mean, the fact that he went from a boy that did stuff with a peach to playing Willy Wonka and then being Paul Atreides, son of Leo Atreides, Duke of Arrakis, Lisan al-Gaib. The duality of man, when you really think about it. Dune Part 2 is number 6, so let's go into number 5.
I'm angry with you, and him, and myself! I'm heartbroken.
Probably the smallest film on this list. Ghostlight is the one that I've been telling everybody to seek out if they get the chance to, because it is a film that hasn't been able to receive the flowers that it quite frankly deserves. Profoundly moving, utterly sincere, deeply reflective, Ghostlight presents an honest reflection into how one handles grief while also showcasing the transformative power of art. And with that, I was not expected to connect so strongly to the material. How you could be struck so unaware by a book or a movie or a play that has some hidden meaning in it to you that it hits you like a freight train. Every emotion feels real, and not once does it seem too melodramatic. Without question, the most underrated film of the whole year. And I will never forget walking out of that screen at South by Southwest, not knowing anything about the film. And then to learn that the family in this film is a family in real life, that blew my mind. The power of art right there. And also, if the world was perfect, we would nominate Keith Comfort for an Oscar. It's just that good. Low key, maybe the performance of the year. I know I just said Adrian Brody might be the performance of the year, but Keith Comfort, that's God tier acting right there. Ghostlight is number 5, so now let's go into my number 4.
I am so proud. But sometimes it's a little hard.
The coming-of-age genre is my personal favorite. As you guys know, I have a podcast focused on coming-of-age cinema, so naturally, whenever there's one coming out, it's automatically on my radar. And Dee Dee was a film that I remember premiered at Sundance, where I saw it, and while there have been many coming-of-age films that I have loved from the 2020s, to tell you the truth, there isn't one that has left me feeling the way that I felt about Dee Dee. Shawn Wayne's beautiful feature debut left me charmed and saddened simultaneously. While a time capsule of the late 2000s, it's actually a film centering on a mother-son dynamic amidst adolescence. This had me reflective of the days as a 14-year-old. I felt very lost, very hopeless, and very lonely at times. The struggle to find a group to where you belong, the frequent bickering with the older sibling, the confusion in expressing your emotions, the questioning if you're an embarrassment to your parents, constantly asking myself, why did I fuck every great thing I have going in my life? It cut very deep for me. Isaac Wayne delivers my favorite child performance of the year, while more people should be celebrating the sheer brilliance of Miss Joan Chen, whose monologues made me want to call my mom immediately and tell her I love her. I'm scared for the day when a filmmaker helms a film focused on the period where I was 14, aka the 2010s, the early 2010s. It also feels very scary to call a film set in 2008 a period piece. Can time stop going so freaking fast? Dee Dee is my number 4, so now it's time to go into the top 3. Here we go.
People get more in touch with their feelings and able to process and actually move through and truly get some rehabilitation.
So are you acting at all during this interview?
I'll never forget compiling the list of films that I was going to see at TIFF back in 2023, and Sing Sing wasn't even on the list of films that I had to see until literally the last minute, and it's one of the best decisions that I made in my life, because for the last 15 months, this stayed on the top 10 of 2024 lists. because my God, it is quite a film. Alongside Ghostlight, Sing Sing showcases the sheer power of art stripping down the walls men cement themselves behind. The way that everyone has something that helps them escape struggles they may encounter daily. For many people, art is the medicine that heals them. And how that can reignite the inmates of Sing Sing and their belief in their own humanity in an institution that perpetually dehumanizes them. Talk about an incredibly tender, vulnerable, and powerful watch all in one. Coleman Domingo first showcases why he's an actor we cannot take for granted, while Clarence Macklin owns the screen in his breathtaking debut, and dare I say, the ensemble of the year is to be found in Sing Sing. Someone recently asked me what film made me cry the most in 2024, and I think that Sing Sing might take that title. It's a real shame how A24 handled the release strategy of this film, because it is such a winner for them to have acquired this film. And the fact that not many people have been able to see it is really disappointing, but come January, hopefully more people will be able to watch it, because I feel like everybody universally has celebrated this film, and I think once audiences go and see this, they will also be celebrating the genius of Sing Sing. So that film is at number 3. So now it's time to go into the top 2, baby.
We are here encountering the undead plague carrier, the vampire, Nosferatu.
Robert Eggers has made 4 feature films, all of which are masterpieces. That's a word I don't like to throw around very often, but god damn, it is impossible to not say that when you're talking about a genius like Robert Eggers. How does he do this every single time? 4 films in the span of 10 years, and they're all masterpieces. Could someone tell me what he's able to do, please? Robert Eggers' rendition of Nosferatu can be argued as his ultimate crowning achievement, a psychosexual, beguiling nightmare brimming with terror, as well as beauty within each and every single frame. Eggers loves trapping you in a state of shock-driven suspense, and those performances, holy shit. The physicality in particular left me enraptured. Lily Rose Depp is insanely good here, and Bill Skarsgård just continuing to remind us how commanding of a presence he is on screen. It's nice to see a modern horror film that's rich in production value and technical prowess, and leads into gothic storytelling simply to be handsome gothic storytelling without deeper meaning. The best horror film of the whole year, as well as maybe a contender for one of the best of the decade so far. He really is a genius. If there is one filmmaker that I could say outdoes themselves every single time they put a film out, it's Robert Eggers. Every single film he makes, he finds a way of topping his last achievement. And while I adore this film with every fiber of my being, it somehow didn't crack the number 1 spot for me. I think Nosferatu is the best made movie of the year, but it's not the one that left an emotional impact on me. It's not the film that I've thought about the most throughout the year. Granted, I only saw Nosferatu less than 3 weeks ago, and I need to watch it again. But this one, to me, is the true definitive favorite of 2024 for me. I saw this film back in April. I have not stopped thinking about this film since. I've watched it a handful of times. I've showed it to a lot of the people in my life, all of whom have also said incredible things about this film. It's unlike anything that we have received in 2024. It is a film that is heavily regarded as a great amongst the cinephiles when they're ranking their favorite films of the year. But to me, it is the true definitive number 1 favorite film of 2024 for me. And that film is...
What about you? Do you like girls?
I don't know.
Boys?
I think that I like TV shows.
I don't even know where to begin when talking about I Saw the TV Glow. I just think that in terms of everything that came out in 2024, this is the film that really stuck with me the most. And I will tell you right now that it is not what I expected at all. I did not anticipate this film even being in my top 10 of the year. And it's always great whenever you walk into a movie unsure of what you're going to get, and then you walk out of it pleasantly surprised in the best possible way. You think you know what you're getting yourself into with I Saw the TV Glow, but then you watch it and it's the complete opposite of what you thought it would be. It is a horror film, yes, but much deeper than the average moviegoer can consume. The horror and terror into knowing who you are and being too scared to truly let yourself come into it. The terror of spending every day wondering if it's too late for you, if you wasted every waking day deceiving yourself. An incredibly heartbreaking exploration of gender identity, an excruciating delve into isolation, and an even terrifying view on our consumption of media. I can't believe how much this film has to say and tackles all of it beautifully. Jane Schoenbrun held the film unlike any other in 2024, one that hasn't left my mind since the moment I saw it and has only grown increasingly upon each and every rewatch. While it made me want to curl up into a ball and lock away the world, it made me realize that this is the film of the year, that we quite frankly need more than we ever could have imagined. Nostalgia is a scary motherfucker, but can we ever let go of it, even if we try our damn hardest to do so? I cannot believe that we have a film like I Saw the TV Glow. I just remember walking into this film hearing all the buzz from Sundance and South by Southwest, and I was so worried that I was going to be that one guy who's like, I don't really get the hype, I don't get all the buzz, it was fine, it was whatever, it was not very good, but it was much better than I thought it was going to be. It left an even bigger impact on me than I ever could have anticipated. And as a coming-of-age film, I mean, I couldn't have thought of a more excellent genre exercise, and the work that Jane Schoenbrun does here immediately made me become a fan. I haven't seen their first film still, and I've been dying to watch it, but just from this one film, I immediately became a fan, and I will be going out to see whatever they do next opening night. You best believe it. So I Saw the TV Glow is my favorite film of 2024. And with that, that is the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for sticking around and watching this video. Again, let me know your 10 favorite films of 2024 down below. What do you think of my list? Are you happy with the list? I'm pretty happy with the list. It took me a few weeks to really put this together, and I scrambled around with it a little bit just a few hours ago before sitting down to record this, but I am incredibly proud. If you guys want to see a full ranking of all the films that I saw in 2024, I will put a link in the description below. Go follow me on Letterboxd to see my ranked 2024 list. And with that, thank you guys again for watching this video. I will see you guys soon.